Welcome back to the channel. I actually forgot my other camera, so we're just gonna roll with the phone today. Should be a lot faster on you. Check this out. Here's an old transmission case. 727, you can tell by the kick out right here. Anyway, this pin right there for that, I believe that's the low gear band rod, whatever you want to call it. Here is the proper name for that part I'm talking about. It says, be sure to install the new O-rings on this low reverse servo pivot or anchor pin. Grease it well. So there it is. Mine only had one O-ring on it, and it was pretty worn. That's what it looks like in the back of the case. And there you go. It's leaking on the RoadRunner. So I came out to look at this just parts bell housing, see how easy it'd be to come in and out. This one does have a nice hole in it here. Sadly, the one under the car does not have that nice hole. So I'm probably gonna have to pull the pan after I pull the tail shaft, because you can see here, here's a different one. The tail shaft housing hangs over that pin just barely. I've heard of people cutting those, breaking them off, whatever. I don't really like that idea, because what if it came out later or something, you know? That one also has a hole, but that one's missing it all together. This one here, pretty straightforward. Here we go. So I disconnected the drive shaft. I got the the speedometer cable, and undid that, pulled out that little gear and such. Took out my 6 bolts that go in the tail shaft housing itself. And then I couldn't get a magnet. My magnet was not strong enough to pull that pin out. So I accidentally grabbed my welder and put a little tack on a carriage bolt. I grabbed that carriage bolt with a piece of pair of pliers and just pulled it right out. So now it moves pretty freely. I'm not going to pull it all the way out just because the strut inside the transmission will fall off and be really bad. So I'm going to pull it back out just barely, get my O-ring off, put my new O-ring on, lots of Vaseline, clean, and put it back together. So here was my next step. Shoved her back in. There's my carriage bolt I had welded. There it is. Popped her off there. You can see how clean that pin stayed. No weld really stuck to it. And you can see my dab of my dab of Vaseline that I had all the way around it. I don't ever like to put in a dry O-ring for any reason. We got her done. I'm going to rotate this tail shaft housing back. I can get my bolt started back in and just reassemble it. Let's see if it leaks. So here it is off the stands. I've got to roll this dude out, maybe take a road trip. It's pretty windy out, but shouldn't matter too much. I'm gonna back it out, check that trans fluid, and maybe take it down the road just 1 second. Bring it back, check it for leaks. Here we go. Notice the peely gauges and all that. I got some new gauges to put in probably next week. thermometer cable ticking in there. Still runs pretty smooth. Hope I don't run out of gas today. Roll the window up. Shifts out nicely. Moves pretty good. Like the 383. Straight as arrow. No hands. I guess I'll use my hands now. Coming right along. That ought to build up a little crank pressure where we can check and see if she's got a leak. And there's an officer. Keep going, officer. Hello. I say good day to you, sir. Looks like we are dry as a powder house. Very nice. A little smoke coming off some headers in there, it looks like. But I'll check it out tomorrow and see what happens. I appreciate y'all watching.